and sisters. Today I am going to reflect on St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, verses 13 to 16. You are the salt of the earth. The metaphor of being the salt of the earth emphasizes the importance of preserving and enhancing the good in the world. It reminds Christians to live with purpose according to the values of the kingdom of heaven and to make a positive impact on the world. Christians are called not only to live lives of righteousness but also to influence society in maintaining moral and spiritual integrity. I would like to begin my reflection on You are the salt of the earth with the heartwarming story of Ben, who had forgotten to put a grain of salt in the cream cheese fasting he said he created. The first time Ben bought something from his home to the office, someone surprised me, whispering loudly that baking is just a science. One has to follow the instructions and make use of the ingredients properly, and the cake will be ready. But something went wrong with the cake because Ben had forgotten to put the grain of salt in the cream cheese of fasting. Jesus told his disciples, you are like the salt for all mankind. Why did Jesus tell his disciples that they are the salt of the earth? Jesus told his disciples that they are the salt of the earth for the following reasons. First, like the salt which gives taste and flavor to the food, Jesus wants his disciples to bring meaning and value to the life of the people they come in contact with. When there is no salt in food, it becomes tasteless. We should always be involved in the life, in the struggles, and in the endeavors of the people and help make them and their life important and valuable. When the salt loses its saltiness, what happens when the salt loses its saltiness? Jesus told his disciples, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Matthew 5:13. So, when the salt loses its saltiness, two things happen. First, we cannot make it salty again. In other words, it is not easy to bring back the saltiness of the salt once it loses it. Secondly, when the salt loses its saltiness, it is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. In other words, it loses its importance, its value, and its desirability. So Jesus wants us never to lose our saltiness. In other words, Jesus wants us to preserve our human worth, our human value and significance for the world. We can preserve our human worth, our human value and significance for the world if we follow the teachings of Jesus. Being the salt in the world, when Jesus tells us that we are the salt of the earth, what he wants to tell us is this. Firstly, Jesus wants us to be united with the people in the world and add value to the world affairs and to the lives of the people we come in contact with. Jesus also wants us to be one with the world, but not in a superiority complex mode. We are not here to teach anything to the world. We are here to be one of them and share their life and all that they are undergoing. Our presence in the world and their life, our ways of behavior, our emotions and the expression of our emotions, our speech, our thoughts, and our actions should inspire them to be the salt of the earth. Secondly, just as the salt helps in the preservation of the food, we need to help people not only to survive in the difficult and trying times and situations, but we need to enable them to face the difficult situations in their life and conquer all their adversities and continue making their presence felt in the world by contributing to the well-being, progress and peace of the world. Thirdly, implicit in the advice of Jesus to his disciples to be the salt of the world is the warning that they should not live their life in such a way that they will have too much salt in their life, which will make their life useless and harmful for the mankind. When the saltiness of our life increases beyond the desired quantity, it becomes dangerous and our life becomes valueless and meaningless and harmful for the mankind. This happens when we discard the values of Jesus and his teachings and give in to the worldly pleasures. Then we meet the same fate as that of the wife of Lot. Genesis 19:26 states, "But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt." Genesis 19:26. We need to guard us against the folly of following saltiness in our life to increase beyond the desired quantity. Otherwise, it will become dangerous and our life will become valueless and meaningless. So we should not allow the folly of, we should not allow the saltiness of our life to increase beyond the capacity. Besides, giving in to the worldly pleasures and things, the wife of Lot also was disobedient towards the Lord, which made her turn into a pillar of salt as a punishment. We too need to fight against the sin of the worldly pleasures and against the sin of disobedience to God. Otherwise, we too will suffer the same fate as that of the wife of Lot. I would like to end this reflection on "You are the salt of the earth," Matthew 5:13 to 16, with the heartwarming story of Claire, whose family donated her organ after her death in a tragic car accident, fulfilling her wish of organ donation. The gift of life, organ donation. One of the most life-altering acts of compassion is organ donation. The story of Claire and her recipient, Tom, exemplifies how our one decision can transform two lives forever. Claire, a 23-year-old woman, had been in a tragic car accident and was declared brain dead. Her family faced the heartbreaking decision of what to do next. In the midst of their grief, they chose to honor Claire's wish to be an organ donor. Tom's life changed dramatically after the transplant. He regained his health and was able to be there for his children in ways he never thought possible. Claire's family found solace in knowing that their daughter's legacy lived on through Tom. This story illustrates how compassion in the face of loss can create new beginnings and save lives. My dear brothers and sisters, thank you very much for watching and listening to my video with love. I would be happy to receive your comments and suggestions. Feel free to contact me on WhatsApp or call me on 7030447934. Please join my WhatsApp channel, Father Patrick Endowed Life Sampanna Jewel, where I share my reflections, videos on biblical and psycho-spiritual themes, daily greetings and selected inspiring content. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Father Dr. Patrick D'Souza, and visit my website worldofemotions.in for ebook and audiobook downloads. Kindly share this reflection with others. May God bless you and your families with health, happiness, and holiness. Amen. Thank you.